Hey, sports fans, this is Robert with WTP Sports Dudes, here with my man Mossberg of Level Up Sports 10. How you doing today, bro?
I'm pretty good, man. Just ready for another great football Saturday. Appreciate you having me every weekend so we could do what we do best, man.
Oh, man, I'm glad you can make it this morning too. We also got the FanDuel Zen Master Zaya. How you doing this morning, bro?
I'm good, man. What's up with the TP Sports Dudes community? How y'all doing?
We
Doing
good,
pretty
man. We
good.
good. I'm glad you can make it this morning too, man. We
Indeed.
were all talking before we came on, and we were all super tired from just a week on Friday, and we all crashed out. We didn't get to watch hardly no sports last night. So excuse us if we ain't up on the details from last night because
Thanks.
Yeah,
we was tired, bro. We was tired.
yeah, for sure.
So we all got to see the college football playoff rankings that came out on Tuesday. And I believe Isaiah made a very valid point about where they placed Indiana.
Yeah,
For me, and I agree with Isaiah, they weren't showing Indiana the respect I think Indiana deserved. And what is probably going to happen is if they lose a game, man, they're probably going to fall out of that top 12 position, man. And we'll have a hard time getting back up in the top 12, in my
right.
opinion. And
Yeah,
I think that they just did them a disservice, man. They should have put them a little bit higher so that if they did lose a game against Ohio State or anyone else, they would still be able to fall within that 12 spots, man, to try to get in there. I really think they did them a disservice. Them and BYU, really.
yeah. When I was kind of listening into him when we were talking last week, and I felt exactly where he was coming from. I think, like when I did my rankings, I had Indiana actually at I think seventh. I had them at seven, and for them to give them that nine seed, I mean they got wins without their quarterback. You got a freshman that came in and lit it up as well. So when you have that combination, that's two quarterbacks. They're not. It's not. I guess I would say it's competitive because the maturity with the senior and then that freshman learning. I think we do got to respect them a little more and give credit to them because even though they're not a team that we hear from every year, they making a statement every week. And I watched that Washington game close. At points, I seen a different Indiana team. They stepped up on defense. They got third downs offensively. So this is a team I feel personally I like better than Penn State. And that's on both sides of the ball. Because when you put that Indiana team together, their offense goes off their defense goes off their offense. So when you have that together, I mean, it's like you ready for that clash. And I think that's a team that people really got to pay attention to in these next few weeks because they can make things happen. And I know they play Ohio State. Isaiah may agree with me with this because I know those are his boys. That's going to be a tough game.
Definitely, I definitely agree. Man, listen, we have seen before that the committee is untrustworthy, bro, with Florida State last year.
Yeah,
I don't care what nobody say. They went undefeated in the regular season. They deserve to be in. So I don't have no faith in them putting a one-loss Indiana team in the playoffs. I just don't. Not after last year, I don't. You know what I mean? Nope.
agree.
They already showed me. You know what I'm saying? And Indiana don't got nearly the brand that Florida State got. So
Definitely.
I totally agree with you, man. And Indiana doesn't have really any wiggle room. Right now, they're nine in the college football playoff. Now, they're ranked eighth, but when you come to your seeding in the playoffs, they're nine, which you already know Boise State is probably going to end up at 12 regardless. So that means they only got spot 10 and 11 worth of wiggle room. That's only two spots, man. If they lose, they are not getting
They're
in.
not getting in. And it's
And I
crazy.
know T1 think they're going to get in with one loss, even if it's to a powerful Ohio State team. I just don't see it, man. I don't see it. I agree with you, Isaiah. I agree with you. This committee is looking for brands, bro. They looking for brands, and Indiana is not a football brand.
Yeah.
I agree. Well, let's go ahead and jump into the 12 teams that they have in the college football playoff committee. At number 12, we got Boise State, which we all feel like they're probably going to get that 12th spot, regardless of their season, how it ends. They're probably going to be the one to get that spot, or whoever comes from the non-power four, power four will get that spot. At number 11, we got Alabama. Let's talk a little bit about Alabama right now, being at the 11th spot, because they don't have any wiggle room either. What's your thoughts on Alabama and their possibility of getting into the 12-team playoff?
I'm going with Zen Master on this one. It's that brand. This is a team that can lose and be branded in, man. It's as a Florida State fan and as a fan of football, I know how Alabama is to end the season, but for Alabama to have gotten that playoff last year, that makes me think so much about the brand. Was Alabama's brand bigger than Florida State's last year? But Alabama lose, they got to go. They can't be in this. They can't be in this playoff. I feel like we're starting to see some of the mill road that we was seeing that, kept Alabama out of big games, kept them from winning big games. And I think it's a problem. Their secondary's not stepping up. Ryan Williams is one of my guys, and they, quite frankly, haven't been getting him the ball lately. And I think that's going to be an issue when this transfer portal comes because students and players are starting to leave. And I think Alabama possibly have had one of the biggest turnovers with that portal these last few years. And I think it's going to hurt them again this coming year.
Man, listen, I think that the committee's so jacked up, and I think the SEC got so much more beating up on each other to do that Alabama still might get in as a 3-loss SEC team. And really, it don't even got to be Alabama. I think they get in the 3-loss team in regardless.
And the crazy thing is, I'm thinking that 3-loss team would be them if it is, which is crazy. That's why.
Yeah, when I first started talking about college football back in July, I thought for sure a 3-loss SEC team and a 3-loss Big Ten team will get in, simply because we know they're gonna beat up on each other in both of those conferences.
Right.
But then you get a surprise from Indiana. You get a surprise from, not really Notre Dame being a surprise, but Notre Dame's in the mix to take one of them spots. And then you got Army possibly being able to get one of them spots. There were so many unexpected teams I didn't expect to even be in the mix right now. I didn't expect Tennessee to be in the mix right now. So a 3-loss team getting in is going to be right on the edge, and it could happen. But right now, with those other teams having being up in there that I didn't expect, I don't know, man. We'll have to wait and see. But it can definitely happen because we know this committee is all about who's going to bring some dollars to them bowl games in this playoff.
Yes.
That's what their thought is. And I really don't believe a 1-loss Indiana should be punished and not get in, and you got a 3-loss SEC or 3-loss Big Ten team ahead of them. I really don't think that should happen, but we have to wait and see.
Definitely.
They have to swallow their pride.
Yeah, they got to swallow their pride, bro. You're right. They definitely do. At number 10, we got Notre Dame, and they don't have much wiggle room either. They can't afford to lose any games and think they're going to get in this 12-team playoff. So they're going to have to win out. What's your thoughts on Notre Dame?
I think they win out, they get in, but I think they get popped as soon as they get in there. It's Notre Dame, bro. Like, they always getting popped in the bowl season, bruh.
This is it's a team that it's an up and down team. Like I think we know more of what Notre Dame would do more than Georgia, for example. When we think of that, and this Notre Dame team, they've been playing some good football, even though their schedule strength is not as strong as some would say. You know, they play my boys today tonight, 7:30 Florida State. People's not going to look at that as much of a game. And we said last week, the last few weeks actually, if you win, that's what matters. You know, as long as you win right now and you win this playoff position, it only gets better for you. You should stay up there. Now, if you a bottom team like Notre Dame and you play a team outside of this 12 and you lose, I understand you dropping out. But if Notre Dame went out, I feel you got to keep them in. They lost to what team was that they lost
Northern
to?
Illinois.
Northern Illinois.
Yeah.
So overall through the season, if you're going to judge them on just that one loss, why even have this 12-team playoff? Because they fighting for it.
Man, Moss,
you know
that's a bad loss, dog.
I get the bad loss. I agree with you. That's probably one of the worst losses of the season, possibly. But if you think about that, think when Michigan lost to Appalachian State, you know, did they give that was the classical? But if you compare that into today's playoff, would that have taken Michigan out of everything? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Just think about that, for example. So it's hard to really say, but I say they get in. If they went out, they in. You can't deny the fact, especially if Boise State went out.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, if they went out, they're definitely in. But I agree with Zayed. All they got really is defense. Their offense really isn't that good. Even though you've been seeing them putting up points on folks, they're putting on points on some bums. And their defense is solid, though, and it'll keep them in games. But they offensively, they just can't do enough to compete with these other teams you see in this top 12. But I think if they went out, they get in.
Yeah, they got Florida State, Virginia, Army, and then at USC. I'm not sure they're going to beat USC.
Ooh.
USC
that's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good test for them. That's for sure going to be a good test. I don't know what that backup quarterback to Miller Moss is like, but, you know, I guess he couldn't be too bad. They went to him.
I'm going to check him out today myself for sure.
Yeah.
Man.
So before we go to this next one, man, I wanted to say rest in peace to our little homie, man, Tremel Walker, Mel Money. Rest in peace, bro. We're going to miss you, man. We love you. He was a really good dude, man. And having him at Windsor, man, for those years and playing Little League football on our team, him and my son and them, Denzel and all them guys, man, we're going to miss you, bro. And we got heavy hearts for real, man, because a lot of our young homies, you know, they just going before their time, man. So we want to say rest in peace to you, Tremel.
For sure.
For sure. Rest in peace, man.
Yeah, same here. We was talking about it at my mom's yesterday. So
that's when I got home, my girl was telling me it was all over Facebook and stuff. I'm like, dang.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. So next up, man, we got number 9, Indiana. What's your thoughts on Indiana being ranked number 9 in the 8 in the poll, but 9 in this bracket, man? What's y'all's thoughts on that? We talked a little bit about it. So, but what's y'all's thoughts on it, man?
Man, they gotta these last few games, they gotta blow people out, bro. Yeah. That's the only way they gonna stay in with a loss to Ohio State, bro. It's the only way. They gotta today. They play Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They gotta torch them. They gotta put something on them boys. Them boys wasn't never looking for.
I'm with you, man. I feel the same way, and I think at this point, teams like Indiana, like a Notre Dame, style points matter right now. I think you got to go out and you got to blow the doors off people and give them a view of, okay, we looked at this team and thought they was this, but now they blowing the doors off people. Hold on, something different. So with Indiana, they got to rock the world today, Michigan. They got to shake them by about 21. If they shake Michigan by 21, Parlay Poe, I'm sorry to say this, they give y'all the shakedown today, they moving up in these rankings. And I think they replace Penn State because I still feel Penn State is not what everybody have them chalked up to be, man. And I know I speak big on defense, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think they're a team that is up to what they should be. Indiana, I feel, is better than them. But Indiana, style points, get a big win today, and you move up.
Yeah, I'm looking at this CFP ranking, man, and I'm looking at the teams that are behind them. You know what? Man, they might have a real chance of really getting in with that one loss, man. Now that I'm looking at it again, because if you think about it, SMU's probably going to lose another game, either in the championship game or regular season. Texas A&M's going to lose another game.
There's some tough games coming up.
LSU, there's a chance they're going to lose another game. They might lose today to Alabama. Ole Miss might lose today against Georgia. I don't think nobody respecting Pitt after how they got done by you can't pit a one-loss Pitt team against one loss ahead of a one-loss Indiana team. Only way K-State and Colorado get in is if they win their conference championship. I believe,
Then the strength in that Big Ten.
See, that's another thing we're not worrying either, though. Like, are they going to penalize a team like SMU or Boise State if they do fall in a conference championship game?
Well, definitely Boise State, because only the conference champion can come out of that conference.
That Mountain West, yeah.
Yeah, but you could still put them in as the next highest ranked team.
Yeah, if they ranked in the top 11, yeah, you can. You're right.
Right. It's just that ACC is not really – the ACC is not as tough as me personally. I've watched the ACC, been in, Florida State fan, so I just think it's not as tough as it was before. And, with this transfer portal and things like that, I think, it shows where that recruiting coaches are getting out, and they're not doing that as much, I would say, in that ACC, whereas other conferences are getting these star players, the 4-star, 5 stars backed up on top of each other, in those positions as far as in the corners, D ends, quarterbacks, to where that, conference gets a little more respect. So with the ACC, you win a championship, you win. If nothing else, I don't think you get in with the ACC. Same thing with that Boise team in the Mountain West. They got to win to get in. Got to win the conference.
You think the committee got respect for Miami?
No, not really.
No.
Not really.
Nope.
They got to put them right there because they're undefeated, but they don't really have no respect for Miami, man.
Because if you think if Miami lost that Virginia Tech game when they played, just think, I don't know if Miami would be Miami would probably be, if they won every game after that, maybe 10, 11, or 12 at this point, maybe. You know what I mean? Because they would have dropped them on that Virginia Tech loss. So they don't respect Miami. They don't respect the ACC enough. Like you said about Florida State last year, that showed with that one. When you lose your quarterback and your defense ball out and you still winning games with backup quarterbacks in, and I felt like we had the best defense going into that. If we would have got into that 4, we had the best defense. And I feel like we had the best defense out of the top 10 last year. Going into that, being undefeated, they kept us out. So I see a lot when it comes to the committee. I don't agree with some of the things, but I feel they don't love the ACC or give them enough credit. But it shows on the field sometimes as well, as we see with Florida State.
Yeah, for sure. Let's look at number 8, Tennessee. What's your thoughts on number 8, Tennessee?
This is a tough one because it's a logjam of SEC teams, and they all right there. It's like Tennessee, Alabama, LSU, Texas A&M. Am I missing one? I'm missing one. Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
So it's that
Yeah.
whichever one
That,
can survive the most. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Whichever two probably for real can survive the most in these last four games is probably gonna be the two that get in.
man. I look at it the same way, man. Like Tennessee, I think like they're in the middle of the pack. You know, they win or lose is big. You know, and they got a tough stretch coming up with these last few weeks as well. And what you saying, those two teams, I'm looking at that Texas and Georgia rematch because if you ask me which two teams out of the SEC right now going to be the hottest moving forward, I think it's going to be Texas and Georgia to where they had that banger of a battle again. But Tennessee is it's in the air for me. I don't know what their quarterback going to be like these next few weeks, and they're another team. If they lose one, we don't know what the committee going to say about them or how they going to drop them.
Tennessee got a couple of tough games, man. I mean, of course, they played Georgia at Georgia,
Yeah,
and then they got to go to Vanderbilt at the last game of the season. They play Mississippi State today at home. They'll probably beat Mississippi State, but Georgia might go ahead and get in their fate, man. They might be done with that loss to Georgia. Even though Georgia's ranked up there high, I don't think they're gonna let Tennessee get back up there, man. In my
yeah,
opinion, I don't think so. But then again, they're branded. They want to see in the college football playoff, man. They want to
yeah,
see Tennessee in the college football playoff. They've been
yeah,
gone for so long. They want to see Tennessee get in there.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
I don't think if they lose one of those games, they might be on the outside looking in
yeah, I
for
don't know.
sure.
I think, man, if they lose to Georgia, I think they still got a good shot of making it because that'd be only two losses. So, yeah, they. I don't know. It kind of depend on how they lose for real.
Yeah, that's wild because I'm looking at the rankings. If Tennessee they win this week, even though it's Mississippi State, are they gonna push them up one? And then you never know what everything else going down with the teams above Tennessee that's playing this week. And then they go to Georgia, and they, like you said, Zan, if they give them some type of game, are they gonna drop them out of the? You know, like it's wild, man. Like that's one thing I'll be thinking about. Like at this point, if you play a team like Ohio State being five, if they play a number two team, is that number two team going to drop past 6 or 7? And how far is Ohio State going to move up? You know, that's a definite question right now. Things like that.
Yeah, that's. I didn't realize they only got one loss. I thought they had two losses. They only got one loss.
Yeah,
Man, I don't know, man. They got a chance. You're right, Zen Master. If they only lose to Georgia, they still got a chance for sure.
yeah.
They gonna have to beat Vanderbilt that last game, and then that might solidify them getting in
Then
Yeah,
they got to
your
go
two,
to Vandy.
yeah, your two hardest games left is on the road down. That's tough.
on the
Yeah,
road. Yeah, that's tough.
they set them up for that one.
This year, Vanderbilt is not an easy place to go and get a win.
No,
Not
no.
an easy place to go and get a win. And you got more fans in the stands than them. It's not an easy place to go and get a win.
Yeah, for sure.
This team right here is very interesting, man. Number 7, Penn State. What's your thoughts on Penn State, man, being at number 7?
That's the fourth Big Ten team to me. Just with the eye test, you got Ohio State, Oregon, and then you got Indiana, and I don't know. I don't know what the committee is looking at when it comes to because they dropped from 3 to 6 or 7. I mean, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know, man. We need more. We need more sturdy rules when it comes to the committee, bro.
Agree. Like you said, man, it's like a magic 8 ball with this Penn State team for me. Because one week I felt, oh man, this Penn State team is good, or was it just the team they was playing? And now, which game I watched was the USC game. Pops, I love you, but they balled out on your Trojans. They gave me a different look about them. And then I see how they performed against Ohio State on the offensive side. I was I was totally disgusted in that. And I know people say they have a good run game, this, that, and the third, but honestly, that goes to show and give credit to Ohio State's defense as well in this game. And if was Penn State's defense that good, or did Ohio State have some struggles at times on offense? This was my clear thought of this after really thinking about that after we spoke on it the other day. And I have rewatched a little bit of it, and I think it was just a few struggles that Ohio State had, which made Penn State offense seem like it was looking some kind of way. And outside of that, they played at Penn State, which is always a tough place to play. So Penn State lose another one, they out. That's just my opinion. I don't think they have enough offense to even compete in a prime bowl game right now. I just don't think they're gonna get it done. And defensively, a team is gonna see something and eat it up. I just don't think they work in the playoff.
Man, Moss, listen, bro. I rewatch our game every week. Bro, we really handled them dudes, bro. We left so many points on the board, bro.
So you feel where I'm coming from?
Yeah. Then we gotta clean up our quarterback. He make a big mistake every week, and we gotta clean that one or two mistakes he do every week. Man, we could have blew them out for real.
I think y'all gave up I think it was a touchdown pass. And the thing I noticed is Henderson gets the job done at running back, man. I've been watching that for the last couple of weeks. I know Judkins, he's good. You know, I felt that he was the better running back, I think, when we spoke about this earlier in the season. But that Henderson is different, man. Like, Henderson is definitely a different running back, man. He knows what he's doing. You could tell he studies the film. His runs is he make runs, and when he move, Ohio State's offense start to move different. He catches the ball, he runs the ball, he runs tough. So, I mean, I just don't trust this Penn State team. They lose, they out.
Hey, I remember Rod was saying a few weeks ago we need to give Judkins the ball, and I was like, bro, I disagree. I was like, man, if you watch Trey run, it's like I like Judkins though. Don't get me wrong, but he run like he playing for the name on the jersey, bro. Judkins run like he playing for the NFL. It's a little different to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that. Run for that name on that jersey, bro. He run like a pure dog every time he touched the ball, bro.
Yeah. After I said that, and then you said your comment after mine, I said, okay, well, I'm gonna look and see for sure if this is, because he might be right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You right on that. Junkins, he's playing to try to get to the NFL, bro. And Henderson is like, okay, yeah, give me that crease. I'm out. I can do this other stuff. I can pass block. I can catch the ball at the backfield. I'm the dude who can get wins for us. Yeah. I don't need a whole lot to take it to the house. And I agree with you on that. You were spot on that one, Zen Master Zaya. As far as Penn State, man, their schedule, these last 4 games is super weak. They gonna get in, man. And I'm telling you right now, if my team gets in, I want them to play Penn State because I think that's an easy win. Easy win, man.
Easy money sniper.
You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, we all watched them last week. When you got to play a good team, their offense was dormant, and their defense is solid. They do got a good defense. But like y'all said, Ohio State offensively left a whole lot on that field, man, that they could have blew them boys out, man, in my opinion, at their crib.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Penn State, I do not like Penn State whatsoever, man. I don't. And they look good against USC, a team that should have beat them because they was beating them pretty good, and they just stormed back. Yeah. But I really do believe Penn State is that team that everybody's licking their chops about. Yeah, let us get them in the first round because we got easy money.
The house on it.
Right. At number 6, we got Texas. What's your thoughts on Texas, man? Because I got me some feelings about them, and that's my team. But man, I'm gonna share mine after y'all go. What y'all think about Texas?
You
Man,
want?
go ahead, Moss.
Nah, you got it, Zen. I was about to say you want to go first, Zen.
Yeah, I go. I'm still high on Texas, bro. It's since that Georgia game. I mean, what was it 2 weeks ago? I mean, y'all had what Vandy last week. I think y'all just a little banged up, and I mean it's the middle of the season for real. Everybody go through adversity, like all championship level caliber teams. So you just got to keep fighting through some of that stuff. You know what I mean? The SEC and the Big Ten, neither one of them is like easy to make it through that gauntlet. You know what I mean? It's just about trying to get out of it healthy enough, and when you get that 2 or 3 weeks for that bowl prep to try to start getting guys back into rhythm and just getting better. So I'm really still high on Texas, bro. It's just they just they gotta make it through this adversity. You know what I mean? And these little tough little matchups that they're going through and these injuries, but that's still a championship caliber team to me.
Yeah, I agree with you. If you like, I'm looking at, I was pulling up the stuff and looking at Texas schedule. If you look at Texas, they had a tough game. Of course, they played at Vandy. That was close. But outside of that and a loss to Georgia, I mean, what else can you say bad about Texas? They had injuries this season. Other than that, they just, I would say right now is them going through not adversity period more than anything. They going through the period of adversity, and championship teams go through those. That's the scary thing. You don't want Texas to come out, get healthy these last few weeks, and their running backs may come back, those All-Americans as well. I'm not for sure. I didn't check on that WTP Sports dudes. Depending on how far and how deep y'all get, they may come back. But I still think they scared because that offense, some may say, oh, it hasn't looked this way. Yeah, they haven't hit on all cylinders yet. They've been hurt. They've gelled in different ways. Their defense is looking better. So once they get everything and regroup after the Georgia, after the Vandy win, Texas is a different team, I feel, moving forward these next few weeks. That's just my opinion. We know that Ewers' injury, but I think that bye week, I think that gave them the ability to get through what they needed to get through. And we're going to see that today when they get back home against Florida, for sure.
Man, I really need Steve Sarkisian to probably get out of his own way, man. Sometimes I'll be like, dude, sometimes you just gotta say, okay, we're gonna come out here, we're gonna run the ball inside zone, outside zone. This is the blocking scheme. Let's go eat. As
Yeah,
opposed to one to come out, he'll come out and throw 8 straight passes, man. I'm like,
yeah,
dude, now you done got your offensive lineman in a mode of, oh, we just gonna be pass blocking today. You do not see physical teams, and Texas can be physical.
yeah,
They come out and they like, okay, we might throw the ball a few times, but we're gonna try to have our physicality come up right in the beginning of this game. Let's go get physical. Let's go eat, and then we worry about passing the ball later. And he sets up the run with the pass, and I would like to see him set up the pass with the run sometimes.
yeah,
So hopefully he can get out of his own way and then help Quinn Ewers get into the flow of the game. Do y'all know Quinn Ewers, his passes, his average passes is only like 2.5 yards. He throws the ball short so much.
that's crazy.
I'm like, dude, this guy's intermediate game is off the chain. Now he ain't that good on the
Yeah,
deep ball, but his intermediate game is off the chain.
yeah,
That if we
definitely.
can get that blocking together, we can get these running backs. That's why we miss C.J. Baxter, because C.J. Baxter, man, he could pass block really well to be a young football player. And these
Yeah,
other two guys, man, Jaden Blue and Trey Wisner, they don't have that physicality like that. They're speed guys. and they missed a whole bunch of blocks on blitzes, man, against Vanderbilt and Georgia. And I'm like, dude, y'all got to be able to pick them things up, or you're gonna get him killed.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's an unsung skill, man.
That's a
That's
yes, it is.
we
You
got
gotta
we
be
got
able
a
to
good
block.
pass blocker in the backfield. Trey, he's a great pass blocker. He picks up blitzes, man. You don't understand how much he saved our quarterback.
I've seen him lay helmet
Yeah.
on people.
And hey, he laid them down too. He got a whole bunch of Buckeye stickers this year off of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, you ask any NFL general manager or coach or whatever, they like, if you can't pass block, bro, you're not getting on this field.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
real
We
hard.
need
It's
to be
real
able to
hard.
have that in our arsenal. We got a guy have a guy who can pass block. Cause sometimes we got to keep you in there because we got dudes coming up these edges. We got linebackers blitzing up the middle. We got
Yeah,
all kinds of stuff. But we need a guy who understands that I got to put my nose in somebody's chest to keep them from murdering my quarterback.
yeah,
And we're missing that right now. We are going to get those injured players back, which I think these last 4 games will give us an opportunity to really get ourselves in a good position uh, for the playoffs, because we're going to get some really good defensive linemen. Because our offensive linemen, their communication has been a little bit off, and they can try to clean that up against some of these good defensive linemen we're going to play against in these next 4 games. And I think if Quinn can get out of his head and realize, listen, man, injuries happen in football. You got to go
yeah,
out there and take some of these hits, man. You can't shy away from the contact. You got to take it. You got to bulk up in the offseason, man. You got to get you some weight on, you get you some muscle. You can't be like Colt McCoy was his freshman year. If Colt came back his sophomore year, like, listen, I understand, I got to put some weight on. And he came back diesel.
yeah.
Quinn, you got to
Sure.
come back diesel, bro,
Yeah,
for sure. So
Hey,
that's my thoughts on Texas. I think they got a
I
good
don't,
chance.
I don't think y'all give Jaden Blue the ball enough either, man. He's dynamic, dog.
Yeah, he fumbles a lot, man. That's why he ain't been getting the touches.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
fumbles a lot.
okay. The fumble issue that will definitely get you less touches.
Yeah. What's up, Kev?
Hey, fellas, good morning.
good morning, Kev. What's
Good
going
morning. How
on?
you doing?
I'm doing okay. And yourself?
Yeah, we doing good. We were talking about the 12 teams that are going to make the 12-team playoff. It was to happen today. We're at number 6, Texas. We're giving our thoughts on them. Do you got anything you want to add about Texas?
Man, Texas was like, I actually had Texas going to the all the way, but like the last couple of games, they slowed down a little bit. But I think Texas is going to pick it back up here. I still got them going all the way, but it's not as easy pass as I thought. Because these teams is playing a
Yeah.
whole lot better.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Let's go to number 5, Ohio State. What's your thoughts on Ohio State at number 5?
Zen, you know me, man. I'm all about seeing mistakes being cleaned up. Um, as I had them going far as we did our playoff a few weeks ago, it's just the mistakes that I'm seeing. That's why I have them losing. But I think they're still a scary team, and we see they ranked at that 5 position. We know how we speak on that 5 number. It's a dangerous seed to have, and I say the Buckeyes is going pretty deep. Long as they clean up these mistakes, Howard get himself in check. I think Zen understand what I mean with that one, and just keep that poise. Ohio State could be as dangerous as they want to be, as long as Henderson is the feature back as well.
Yeah, I agree as well. I mean, Ohio State is going deep. To my opinion, there's only 3 teams right now that could beat Ohio State on the neutral spot site. That's Georgia, Texas, or Oregon. That's the only 3 teams I think that can beat Ohio State. Ohio State is a very good football team, and that's coming from me. They got a very good football team.
Yeah, I think Ohio State's a really, really good football team as well. Our concerns early was their defense and getting pressure on the quarterback. They sort of fixed that with some of the packages they've been employing with those blitzes, and they've been getting some pressure on the quarterback. Now we're starting to look at the offense and what's the quarterback's name, man? I keep forgetting that boy's name.
Will Howard.
Will Howard.
Yeah, Will Howard. And now teams are starting to be like, listen, Will Howard, you're gonna have to beat us. So they want to try to stop the run and make Will Howard beat them. And Chip Kelly, I think, needs to call some plays to Will Howard's strength so that they
Yeah,
can continue to roll offensively. And they got to always look for that Smith kid and Buka. When you got two dynamic receivers like that, man, you're hard to stop. But I think offensively, they might have regressed a little bit because they're not playing to Will Howard's strengths. But I'm quite sure they'll figure that out as well. It all depends on the opponent too.
Man, I've been tough on my coaching staff, man, but I kind of came to a realization after that Nebraska game and leading into that Penn State game. I get exactly what they've been doing the last couple weeks. The offensive line played so bad in that Nebraska game that they wanted to run, run, run. Will Howard threw 16 passes in that game. I'm just like,
yeah,
man, just air the ball out. But I kind of feel like they just like, no, we got to figure out this running because if we can't run the ball, there's no way we're going to win a national championship. So that game last week, we've seen the offensive line kind of build some confidence, definitely with that how hyped them boys was after that buzzer rang at the 0. You could tell they was real confident, and they just got that confident boost that they needed. So yeah, we could air the ball out, but what is that going to do for us in the long run? So I think they was trying to build confidence in the run game. I think we the scariest team in America, man. It's as simple as that because out of all the
mm,
problems that you done seen, and for us to get confidence in our run game, now I think Chip Kelly can start opening up the playbook more. And my defense, I am not worried about my defense at all. Denzel Burke had that one bad week, but outside of that, my defense been thorough all year. So I got major faith in my defense. Yeah, you could say we don't create enough pressure on the quarterback. Yeah, you could say my corners they play too physical. Sometimes they get defensive pass interferences. I mean, you could say my linebacker group is not the best, but top to bottom, I think we got 9 dudes on my defense that's gonna make it in the NFL. So I love that. I love that whole defense. Yeah, we scary, bro. We are real scary, and I want y'all to keep an eye on my boys too over the next few weeks. Really, these next 2 weeks they just like tuner games. You know what I mean? We got Indiana, and then we got Michigan at the end. So they really just tuner and field games. But watch them boys when we get to that Indiana and that Michigan week, and then give me y'all's new synopsis. You know what I mean?
Okay,
mm-hmm.
okay. What y'all think about number 4 BYU, who right now is projected to be the champion out of the Big 12? What's y'all thoughts on BYU?
Mm.
I'm gonna let y'all talk about BYU because I really haven't seen BYU much this year. So I'm gonna sit back and listen to you guys.
Uh, it's like with BYU, defense, offensively, we know what they bring into the table. They definitely have a quarterback and wide receiver connection, and they have a run game, and we know they got a physical defense. It's just getting into this playoff, being at home. I think it's scary. You know, you got to go to Provo. That's not an easy place to play. And, you know, when we look at the playoff, I think this is a reason why it's moved up to 12 teams. No one expect to go to Provo at this point in the season and play a game. That's scary. I'm going to just say BYU is a scary 4 seed. And if they stay high in this playoff, I just want to see what they do. And I like that BYU team as a 4 seed winning.
Man, I agree, man. When you watch BYU, the first thing that comes to mind is just toughness. They don't always win the prettiest. Uh, they just a tough football team, bro. Like they just tough, bro. When you got toughness, bro, sometimes toughness beat out talent. So I could never just dismiss them, especially if they play at home. They can definitely get one. I don't see them going all the way or nothing, but yeah, they can definitely get one at home if they placed at home that first week and they went out and all that.
How's their defense?
It's solid. It's solid. It's not the best defense in college football, but they tough though.
Okay.
They hit you in the mouth.
and they're veteran. They're a veteran team, man. They're not playing with no freshmen and sophomores. They got a lot of juniors and seniors on their squad, and they're very physical, man. They are very, very, very physical. They played a smash mouth kind of. Okay, you want to go out here and play hard? Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna punch you in the mouth. You punch me in my mouth. I'm gonna punch you back in your mouth.
Yeah.
The only thing about Boise BYU is they better hope they get a 3 seed or a 2 seed, because at that 4 seed, man, their first matchup is going to be against a 5 seed. It's going to probably be Ohio State, Oregon, Texas, Georgia, one of them teams. And as good as they are, they don't want to face any of them juggernauts, man. In their first game in the playoffs, if they get the 4th seed, because they're gonna play one of them in the 5th seed. Whoever doesn't win their conference championship out of the Big Ten or the SEC, they're gonna get BYU in the second round. BYU don't want that.
Yeah, you right. I wasn't even thinking like they gonna have a bye. They're not gonna be playing at the crib.
Yeah, they're gonna have a bye.
That's right.
Yeah, they might get smacked, bro. I ain't gonna.
Yeah,
that's who they play. That's why I said hopefully the 4 is good, but hopefully they get up above that 4. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say they would get smacked though, because it's something about having 2-3 weeks. 2 weeks, I think it's 2 weeks after your conference championship. That bowl preparation, having that extra week will probably help a team like them. Because now you could draw up some more creative stuff. You can get on film. You can see what your opponent does and what they don't do well, and you could actually create up some stuff. So I don't know. That bowl prep is way different. It's hard to judge because you got too much time to watch film and all that.
Yeah, for sure. What y'all think about number 3? Did everybody go do BYU?
Yes.
Okay, what do y'all think about number 3 Miami?
Who they got them matched up with in the playoff right now?
Right now they get a bye. They get a bye as well.
Yeah, who's the winner the game before them?
So right now they will play the winner of Alabama and Texas.
Man, wouldn't that be something?
I don't think they had a defense to slow neither one of them down, though.
Yeah, I was about to say, whoever they play, it's going to be a shootout. It's going to be 80 points put on the board.
Yeah.
Just after watching them last week, I just, like you just said right there, I just don't trust their defense. I thought different about them, and, feeling their defense would make some changes, step up a little bit, but still, I haven't seen it. And I think the advantage is going to go to teams that play defense, that has, if you have a great offense, but you play great defense this year, I think that's going to situate you. And Miami has some great offense, but defense is not even half of what their offense is. So I just don't trust this Miami team. I don't know. I mean, they're good. Don't get me wrong with that one. But when you think of the playoff, you think of having to play at Alabama or Texas. That's a tough game in itself, and I don't think they have enough defense to make things happen in these last few weeks. I think their defense is about to get tested. And, we just don't know what can happen with this Miami team.
I agree. Yeah, I'm sorry. I agree. Yeah, when you come down to the playoffs, man, your defense has to play well. I mean, you can put up some points, but defense has to make some stops, and Miami's defense is right now, they're not doing that. So they're not going to beat teams like, the Georgia and the Texas and the teams like that. Alabama, their defense will let them down. Trust me.
Man, this Miami team give me a feel for last year's Washington team.
They
Super electric quarterback, not a lot of defense, but you gonna have to beat their offense. You know what I mean? You gonna
Mhm.
have to score some points to beat this team, bro. And I told y'all, bro, like for the rest of the regular season, I'm done betting against Cam Ward, dog. I ain't betting. I'm staying away from that man. That's a bad boy, bro. So I like, man. They listen. If you can't score with them, you ain't gonna beat them. And we done seen a lot of these teams. The offense has been looking iffy this year.
Yeah, for sure. Man, if they can just play a little bit better defense, man, they would probably have a chance of advancing. Now, I do believe now if they play Alabama in that second round, because Alabama ain't got no defense either. That game gonna come down to who got the ball last for
Right.
Facts.
sure. Now, but if they play Texas, Texas got a little bit better defense. Well, a lot better defense than both of them. Um, it'll be a little bit tougher for Miami. But if they play Alabama, man, it's coming down to who got the ball last. And I'm telling you right now, I agree with you saying if you let Cam Ward get the ball last, go ahead and go in the tunnel and go to your locker room because you are not getting the win, bro. You're not getting the win. Your coach might as well go ahead and take his headset off and y'all go on in and let the defense go ahead and stay on the field until they score their touchdown on you because
So you
they not losing.
start the buses up.
Start the buses up. Yeah, tell the player to meet us on the tarmac. We coming home.
Man, dog, I wish he would have came to Ohio State, man.
Not me.
Man. Hey, I would have been penciled in for one this year.
For sure. What do y'all think about number 2 Georgia?
Man, let me go first, man. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this goddamn team, man. Hey, Carson Beck needs to be sat on the bench and he needs to get a headset, bro. I don't know who they got to back him up, but I will assume he is a better option, bro. If they can get half decent quarterback play that they had last year, you know, like I just think this is a whole different team, bro. Like, but him turning the ball over in these games, bro, is killing me, dog. It's just killing me, bro. We keep seeing it, bro. This the third against Florida. He had 3 interceptions again. Like that's 9. Well, that's 9 turnovers in 3 games, dog. You're not winning like that, bro. You're just not.
Yeah.
The room for error in the playoff is going to come. It's going to slim. It's going to shrink. You're not about to be able to do that, dog. You just not.
And I totally agree with you. And the crazy thing, I'm sitting here looking at week 5, playoff outlook week 5. And the question I have for Georgia is what will we see? They play Ole Miss today at home. The Ole Miss is not going to let this slide easily. Who is Georgia? Quarterback change, and 400 wasn't enough. And this was after they played Alabama. So Carson Beck has been a question all year with the interceptions, even though Georgia's ranked where they are. I just think with Georgia is what Georgia team will we see? At the end of the day, we don't know what Georgia team we're going to see. If it's a Georgia team we seen a few weeks ago, we know what we're going to get. But in the same sense, this Ole Miss team is not about to give up nothing easy today. So I think we'll have a better trajectory about Georgia even more, especially Carson Beck after tonight. But me personally, it's just they win, they in, man. That's just the only thing I could say. If they make a quarterback change, will that be a good thing right now? Or will it be a bad thing? Are they just going to roll with him and roll with what he's doing and understand that that's just the system QB they have? So that's just my breakdown of it.
They won't bench Beck. I mean, Beck does have to stop throwing picks and everything, but I like Georgia a lot. I like Georgia's defense, especially the defense that played against Texas.
Yeah.
Oh, that was one of the best defensive games I ever seen a team play in a long time, you know. But will you get that every Saturday? You don't get that every Saturday, you know. So which Georgia team is going to come today? Ole Miss, they ain't going to go there and lay down. Ole Miss going to probably put some points on the board. And if Beck throws some picks today, they might be in trouble.
Yeah.
I totally agree, man. If Beck throw some interceptions today, they're gonna have a hard time keeping up with Ole Miss. Because Ole Miss, man, offensively, if they keep your defense on the field for a long time, they're gonna put up some serious numbers on you. But I think Georgia's defense, man, is gonna be the key for them. That's what's gonna keep them in every game. It's probably gonna be what wins them a lot of their games as well. They haven't played lights out like they played against Texas. Um, well, really in the first half, they played lights out against Texas. Second half, they didn't play as well. But if teams take anything from that Texas game offensively against Georgia's defense, they might be able to do some things. Because I think inside zone against Georgia, you can take advantage of their defensive tackles. Lead that Walker. I think that's his name. That defensive end, leave that guy alone, man. And you better have somebody to chip him. Otherwise, he's gonna murder your quarterback.
Yeah. Number 11.
Yeah, number 11. Yeah,
For sure.
and 13.
Full grown man.
Yeah, and 13. Them dudes, man. Whew, they gave us fits. But I think we gave Georgia too much bulletin board material, and Kirby Smart took full advantage of that, and they came ready to take some heads that day.
Yeah.
Carson Beck definitely has to clean up those interceptions, man. But if the game is close and it's in the fourth quarter, you notice in the fourth quarter, Carson Beck plays a whole lot better in games. You usually intercept him in the first half. You usually don't turn it over as much in the second half. So if they can weather that storm, I think Georgia is a really, really good football team. They really need to get NTN healthy. I think he still got rib issues. But their backup ain't bad. Their true freshman is not bad either. But I like George. I really do like George.
I think he missed Brock Bowers, man. That security blanket.
Oh, definitely. Oh, definitely. And Lab McConkey, whatever his name is. He missed both of them.
Yeah, they
them
balling
were
on
two
Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
They putting up numbers on Sunday.
They might drop more passes than anybody in the country, man. Them dudes drop a
Nope,
lot
I got
of
Duke. I got
Definitely.
Duke. You said Duke drop a lot of
Man,
passes.
they drop all passes.
Yeah. What do y'all think about number 1 Oregon?
Man.
Go ahead, Kev.
Who they got left this year? They play who today? They play Minnesota today.
Maryland. They ain't got nobody left.
Yeah.
That Wisconsin game next week could get tricky, but I don't see them losing it. They got Maryland today.
Yeah. Oregon is playing real good. I didn't expect their defense to play that good, but I didn't see much of Michigan's game last week. But what I was told that Michigan could have, made it a little bit closer. But I don't see Oregon losing another game. I mean, any game this year, unless they play Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game. I think Ohio State get revenge, But Oregon could go all the way, and they probably will go all the way.
I definitely like this Oregon team. When you spread them out and you let Gabriel get loose, man, and throw that football, I think they're one of the most dangerous teams in the country, as we see, and them being number 1. One thing I do like about this Oregon Ducks team, I think everybody would agree with me in this one. Normally when Oregon is this good, Oregon don't have defense. And I think that's why Oregon is number 1.
Yep.
They've been number 1 for a few weeks because of that defense, man. They have a different caliber defense. And if I'm not mistaken, they're one of the teams in the country that will man up on that corner position and go out there and let them boys do what they do best and be cornerbacks.
Mm-hmm.
You got to give credit to that coach and what he's building and doing over there in Eugene because they're number one. And I mean, that's all I could say about Oregon, man. They're a great team. I looked at them defensively. They got linebacker, they got defensive line, and the secondary speaks for itself. Some teams may not have all the glance and glitter when it comes to interception returns, but this Oregon team secondary are definitely there, and you will see them and notice them when they play games. So got to keep them up there, and I feel like they're going to make a run, too, along with Texas this year.
Man, listen, bro. Oregon is a good football team, okay? But hear me out, fellas. These dudes always get smoked in bowl games, bro. I don't care how good they be. We blasted them in 2014 in the championship. It's like, I don't know, bro. It's just, I don't never have faith in Oregon guys. Like, I'll be saying it too. Like, if an Oregon quarterback goes to the NFL, I would never draft him if I was a GM. Like, that's just my thought on Oregon. Is I don't know. It's just how I feel about Oregon. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really have no great explanation on it. It's just they be getting smoked in bowl games, dog. They do. I think they just be trying to be too pretty, though. I think that's their problem for real.
Oregon, they got a good football team. They do. But I don't think physically they can compete with a Georgia, a Texas, and if they play Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game, they're not going to be able to compete with Ohio State in that game. It's gonna be a good game for 3 quarters, but I believe Ohio State's physicality is going to take over that game. And Michigan, if they would have just stuck with throwing the football with Davis Warren, that game would have been a lot closer. A lot closer. Because he was in a rhythm and he was rolling. Then all of a sudden, what they do, they bring Orgy in the game. Like, dude, what are you doing? So I think whenever Oregon plays a team that has a good offense, they can take advantage of their defense for sure. And I think that whenever you got a team that can really put pressure on your offensive lineman and can clog some of them holes up and force you to throw the ball, you can take advantage of Dylan Gabriel at that point. Because even though he can throw the ball accurately, if you got guys who can get pressure on him and force him to throw the ball before he wants to, you can take advantage of his weaknesses with his arm strength.
Mm-hmm. And real quick, I didn't know that Georgia was on the road today, so
Yeah,
I just say I'm on watching game day, so
College road games.
Georgia
Georgia
might be on upset alert today.
Yeah, man. Oh, Miss put up 65 last week too.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if they got Trey Harris back or not, but if they got Trey Harris back and he's out there in this game, that's another dynamic receiver that Georgia's gonna have to face. And man, it's gonna be a tough one today, man. It's probably the game of the day, them and the LSU and Alabama.
Yeah.
That LSU winning that.
I do too. Night game in Death Valley, bro. That's a hard one, bro. That's a hard one. Listen, they lost to Texas A&M too. They're trying to get them some comeback for sure.
Oh.
Who do y'all think wins between number 12 Boise State and number 5 Ohio State to advance to play number 4 BYU?
Definitely Ohio State. Yeah. It ain't gonna be easy.
I got
Yeah, it ain't gonna be easy, but it'll be close 2 or 3 quarters. But when the fourth quarter come, Ohio State run game gonna pick up. They're gonna just be grinding. Defense gonna make some plays, and Ohio State to win.
I got Ohio State winning, of course, in a mauling.
Yeah, I definitely got Ohio State winning as well. I think that teams have figured out that if you can slow down Genty, and Ohio State got the guys who can slow down Mad Max too, when they slow down Genty. So I can't
Yeah.
see Boise State being able to do too much against Ohio State.
Yeah, we'll smoke them boys, bro. If it's one thing I can say, I don't think a team is just going. And this has not been the same story I would have said in the years past. But you're not about to just line up and run the football against my team this year. It's just not happening.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Who do y'all think wins between number 11 Alabama at number 6 Texas, and the winner plays number 3 Miami?
I got to win that game. Texas has a better, I think, both sides of the ball, and defense going to make way more plays than Bama's defense, and Texas win that game by double digits.
Yeah. I think Texas will rout Alabama too. Milrow ain't been looking like Milrow, so if we get that Milrow, then we know. And I just think them linebackers will be on him anyway. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I take Texas in a route. I'm talking about 21, 3, 4 touchdowns route.
Yeah, I would have Texas winning in this one. You said the linebackers. It's crazy you said that because the way the linebackers will play gives that secondary opportunity in this one. And I think Texas has, and I spoke about this before. I know how they secondary looked in Georgia in the first half. If you go take a look at that complete game and look at Texas secondary in that game, the secondary stepped up. Texas has a great secondary. I think they secondary definitely shuts Bama down in a pass game from the position of how they linebackers play, and they get a win easily against Alabama.
Yeah, I agree with all three of y'all on that one. I just think Texas has too much for Alabama. Alabama has Milrow, who's a dynamic quarterback, but that day he would have a whole lot of issues because his offensive line wouldn't be able to protect him. And Texas corners are pretty good, man, and they would slow down their passing game. And I don't think they'd be able to run the ball that well on them as well. Who do y'all think wins between number 10 Notre Dame at number 7 Penn State, and the winner gets number 2 Georgia?
This would be the worst CFP
It would be the
matchup.
one.
Man, I don't think. Hey, the views is gonna be down on this game, bro. But
Oh my God, it would be
hey,
horrible.
we here,
Yeah.
so hey, we gotta do what we gotta do. But yeah, I take Penn State in this game, man. I ain't confident in neither one of them for real, but yeah, I would take Penn State. I like them to get creative with them running backs and Tyler Warren. So I think that'd be too much for Notre Dame to handle. I think their run game, they both are dominant run teams. So I just think their running game will beat out Notre Dame's.
Go with Penn State there. So I'm gonna leave it right there. I go with Penn State, but neither one of them teams want to see Georgia though.
Neither one.
Yeah, only reason I'm taking Notre Dame, I see way more offense than Penn State. After seeing Penn State's performance last week, I know defense win championships, but y'all's offense ain't even selling tickets. They ain't even going to the concession stand for that offense. Notre Dame's offense, at least they getting popcorn, they getting Gatorade, Skittles, and all that at the concession stand. And I got Notre Dame advancing to play Georgia. I just don't believe in this Penn State team after last week's performance, man. Offense is terrible.
I think because Notre Dame's offense isn't that good and Notre Dame's defense is good, I think that's how Penn State wins this game. Um, it's going to be the boringest game alive, man. It's going to be like watching paint dry. But Penn State's defense, I think, will keep Riley Leonard from doing what he want to do because he want to run the ball way more than he want to throw the football. And I think that they will be able to slow that down. But I agree with you, Mossberg. That Penn State's offense, man, it is not good. It is not good. But they got some athletes that they can feature, especially that number 10. So I think
Yeah,
with that number 10,
definitely.
they'll get the win. This game will probably be 14-13. But I'm taking
Yes.
Penn State. Next up, we got number 9 Indiana at number 8 Tennessee, and the winner gets to play number 1 Oregon. What's your thoughts on that one? Who wins it?
Mm.
Man,
I'm,
it's sad, man.
ooh,
Oh, go ahead, Kev.
I'm waiting to see Indiana when they come to Ohio State, and I think that's going to really show what type of team they are. And I think Michigan going to probably give Indiana a fist today, but I'm gonna go with Tennessee. Tennessee is a good team, and I just can't see Indiana going on the road at Tennessee and winning a tough game. I just can't see that. I just can't see it.
Not so fast, Kev. Y'all got a big one today talking about these Indiana boys. And you better best believe they're going to come out and be ready to play against your Wolverines. I'm taking the Hoosiers. And we ain't on the basketball court with this one. We on the football field. And I'm taking them to match up against them Ducks in a mighty Big Ten showdown for the playoff picture to look even better.
Ooh, man, okay.
Man, listen, y'all already know how I feel about Kurt Signetti. Since Big Ten Media Day, when he was calling folks out and saying, man, yeah, Ohio State terrible, Purdue terrible. Man, he got them boys balling, dog. Hey, I think Indiana walk into Tennessee, and I think they pop them boys. You know what I mean? And then I think they let they you know what I mean, their main package drop a little something. You know what I mean? And we looking forward to what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I love Kurt Signetti, man. Hey, for real, if I fire Ryan Day, we need to offer him.
Man, listen, you already know on Thursday, I told y'all what was going to happen today. Michigan is going to upset Indiana, bro, because they're going to finally realize let Davis Warren throw the football. And I don't think that Indiana's offense is going to be able to deal with them 2 defensive tackles, man, and them 2 D ends. He's going to have some troubles today, bro. He's going to have some troubles. And Michigan is going to upset Indiana. Now, it don't seem like it should be an upset Michigan beating Indiana, but it is in this case because of where Michigan is at right now. But listen, right. Michigan is winning this game today. Trust me.
Hey, WTP Sport News. Hey, I need you to grab your deed to your house and go ahead and make your side, your way to the west side and go ahead and drop that whole deed on it.
Hey, man, listen, if I was a betting man, I would bet it, bro. If I was a betting man, I would bet it.
Man.
I think that Tennessee will beat Indiana. I do. I think they would have a hard time in Knoxville getting a win against a talented Tennessee team. I think they just have way more speed and talent than Indiana is ready for.
Hey, what time Indiana and Michigan come on today?
That's a 3:30 banger.
Okay, yeah,
I think it might be a 3:30 banger, yeah. Yep. Who do y'all think wins between number 5 Ohio State and BYU? Number 4 BYU.
This at Ohio State, right?
Nah.
No, this game will probably be in the Rose Bowl, the Fiesta Bowl, Peach Bowl, or the Sugar Bowl.
BYU, CIA, OSU win big. It's just that easy, man. This point in the season, OSU been battle tested. BYU, just from that scare earlier in the season, a few weeks ago, I think Ohio State win this one big. Ohio State's physical.
I got OSU winning as well. Not big, but they'll definitely get the win.
Yeah, I think Ohio State controls the whole entire game, and with just way too much speed and athleticism on that Ohio State roster for BYU. But I think it's only going to be maybe 2 scores, but not no crazy 2 scores though. But I think it'll be a good game. But Ohio State too much speed, too much athleticism for BYU.
Man, listen, man, we not gonna get the 5 seed. If we got the 5 seed, I pray we could get the 5 seed, bro. We shellacking them. Hey, 41-17, 49. Man, they ain't even getting 17. They getting like 10. 41-10 type stuff. You know what I mean? Like, bro, they ain't got enough talent, bro. It's just not enough around the board. You know what I mean? They tried to call my team soft. We tougher than what people think. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only thing that BYU got is to me in this game, the edge that they would have if they had an edge is toughness. My team is tough now. You know what I mean? It ain't the same story about us no more. So, yeah, we'll shellac them, bro. It's not enough talent around.
What's your thoughts on number 6 Texas versus number 3 Miami? This game will probably be in the Peach Bowl because that's close to Miami. So they'll probably pick that game.
Man, I'm sorry, WTP Sport dude. I would have to go Miami in this game, bro. If it's one team that I think Texas or Ohio State wouldn't want to play, it probably would be Miami. Uh, I think Georgia is a better matchup for a team like Miami. Yeah, I think Cam Ward was shred. I think he was shred y'all, bro. Like I just can't bet against him no more, man. I just can't do it. He done hurt me too much this year, dog.
He gonna hurt you in this one because Texas is gonna put a hurting on him. I got Texas winning this one. I just think I see where you're coming from with that. Him getting out the pocket, possibly running a few times. I mean, Texas got a defensive end that shadows quarterbacks too. Not only that defensive end, but they got a linebacker. The way they disguise, I watched them a little bit in that Vandy game. I be seeing clips how they disguise a defensive end. Miami is the perfect team that would run into a trap to where he would be forced to pass. And them corners in that secondary in Texas different, man. I think Texas win this one the way they defense plays and force Cam Moore into doing things that he's just not necessarily used to doing. And we see how Virginia Tech's defense played them. When they made those blitzes and they came in different packages, Texas can do the same thing but better. Texas win.
Yeah, Texas will win this game. Too physical for Miami. Miami will be able to put some points up, but when they come on that fourth quarter, Texas going to be grinding. Defense going to get the Ward, them ends, the corners. I got Texas winning by 10.
Yeah, if you look at all the other teams that Miami has played and how they had Cam Ward on the run in some of them games, he gonna really be running for his life against Texas. The difference is Texas has defensive secondary that can cover those guys that he's throwing the ball to. It'll be a nightmare, in my opinion, for Cam Ward because his offensive line is not that good, and it'll be hell on wheels for him, especially when they start sending guys like Colin Simmons after him, Anthony Hill after him, spying him and stuff like that. They'll create some issues for Miami, I believe, in this game. So I'm going to take Texas to win that game over Miami. Next up, we got number 7 Penn State versus number 2 Georgia. I mean, I think that's a pretty easy one.
Georgia.
What's your thought?
Georgia, just as simple as that. They trounced Penn State because I think they'd be the team to just be able to put 8 in the box, try to key in on 10, even with the linebacker stepping out if you lead a backfield, and just give Penn State problems.
Man, I think this game will be tricky. Even though we talked about Penn State's offensive struggles, I just think when you get this late in the year that the turnover margin plays a big role. And I don't think Penn State is going to give them the football. So just by that alone, I think Georgia still win the game, but I just think it'll be closer than what people would think it would be.
And I tend to agree with you, Zay, on that it'll be closer than people would think it would be, simply because Georgia is going to have a tough time against Penn State's defense. And also because Penn State's offense is going to have a tough time against Georgia's defense. So it's going to be a defensive battle. And I think that it'll be a close game, but I believe Georgia will get the win in this game. Who do you think wins between number 5 Ohio State versus number 1 Oregon?
Where is this game at? That's the question.
This game will probably be at it's the oh man. Oh man, it's right on the top of my head.
The I think the one big difference for me in this game will be that one wide receiver that did not play last time. And Zaya, man, I like your team. I like your boys, man. I like what Ohio State brings to the table. But it's like in this game, I'm looking at the coaching and the quarterback. That first game showed a lot of ways that coaching was involved, as well as a quarterback position, even though it was 32-31. I'm taking Oregon in the rematch, in another close one. I I just Zaya, my thing is the things that I'm looking at on defense in both teams, Oregon has improved those things quicker than Ohio State. That's the reason, and I go down to the coaches and quarterbacks in this. I like Dylan Gabriel over Howard.
It's either the Orange Bowl or the Cotton Bowl for this game.
Mm.
And then the championship is at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. I definitely think Ohio State wins this game. I think at that point, Oregon teams will know what Oregon is capable of doing, and they'll know how to shut off that water. And I think Ohio State has enough talent on their team to shut off that water. And I think the reason why Oregon beat Ohio State the first time was because it was in Oregon. If it would have been in Ohio State, I think it would have been a different outcome. And I believe that Ohio State has more talent than and more physicality than Oregon. And I just don't think they're gonna let Oregon get them again. Um, but I'm gonna pick Ohio State in this game. I just think they got too much.
Man, this will be possibly a third meeting, bro. So it get real tricky to pick a third meeting. If the Big Ten championship, if Oregon is able to if Ohio State makes it, we expect Oregon to win out for sure. But if Ohio State wins out and we match up with Oregon again, that result of that game definitely affects directly the next one if this is the matchup again. Because if Ohio State lose, they're going to be like, we lost to these dudes twice. We ain't about to lose to these boys a third time, bro. If Ohio State beat Oregon in the Big Ten championship, I would just sit back. I wouldn't even pick. I would just pray and watch my team and root on my team, bro. And I would just say it'll be a coin flip. So, yeah, I don't even know how to pick this game for real because it's so many variables that need to play out.
Okay. What do y'all think about number 6 Texas at number 2 Georgia? Well, versus number 2 Georgia. What do y'all think about that game? That game will probably be either in the cotton. Ooh, you know what? No, because Oregon will get first dibs, I believe. I think, and they will probably pick the. I don't know. You know what? They probably will pick the Cotton Bowl and say, "Oh no." They probably pick the Orange Bowl and say, "Okay, George, you're gonna have to go play Texas in their backyard." I don't know, man. That would be tricky.
Yeah.
That would be tricky.
I just got that Texas Ohio State matchup. I don't know what it is. Like both of these two, I feel like just both of these two teams has been going. They season been going through that adversity to where they mount up and get wins throughout and leading up into that big time meet up in the national championship game. I got Texas beating Georgia, and I like the way Texas played in that second half of that game. I think the way Texas played in that second half, lights out, really held Georgia, and Georgia had did so much up until that point in that game to where it was tough for Texas to put some things together, which I know they went back to some of the plays that they usually run, but when they went into the playbook, it worked. So I like Texas over a Georgia team because of the fact that Georgia haven't been consistent all year, where Texas has been consistent but gotten better through the consistency as well. And that's with the quarterback change also. So I just like Texas.
Man, with this expanded playoff, dog, we are creating new rivalries for real, man.
Yeah.
And I love it. Like, this is a possible third meeting of the season. You know how much hatred you will have for somebody if you seen them 3 times a year you had to play them?
Yeah.
Man, that's a lot, bro. So it's another one of them games, though, man. Who got the will to win, though? I would lean with Texas. I think they got more guys on their team on that, especially on that defense, that they just don't want to lose. So I would lean towards Texas. It's at this time of the year, bro. It's going to come down to stuff like that when you seeing a team multiple times already.
Yeah.
Who got the will to win, bro?
Yeah, after watching Georgia again last week against Florida, it really brought Georgia back down to earth for me. Because in previous weeks, this matchup happened, and I had Georgia winning the game. But after seeing Georgia again struggle against a team that they should have demolished, and
Yeah.
really that game was close. And I'm telling you right now, if DJ Lagway wouldn't have got hurt,
Florida would.
Florida was going to beat them. Florida had them on the ropes. But
Yeah.
DJ Lagway went out the game, and the whole thing changed because now you're playing against this third string guy who, he's just on the team. You know what I'm saying? He's just on the team. And I think that at this point, Kirby Smart will be able to make some things happen defensively. But I think at this point, Steve Sarkisian will be able to have figured him out. Like, okay, I know you don't have the personnel to stop this. Because I think in the second half, he understood that their defensive tackles cannot stop inside zone. And I
Yeah.
think at that point, Texas will be able to take advantage of some of the stuff that Georgia can't do defensively. And Steve Sarkisian is a mastermind at figuring that stuff out. And if I'm telling you right now, if Arch Manning was really ready, man, he would be the difference in this game.
Yeah.
Because Georgia have fits against guys who can also use their legs. And I think that Texas, if he had Arch back there playing, if he was at the experience level of Quinn Ewers, then it would be a different ball game. But I think Quinn Ewers understands he got to use his legs enough to keep defenses honest, like he did against Michigan, like he did in the last game against Vanderbilt. And I think he'll do that in this game, and Texas will beat number 2 Georgia. I think that Ohio State and Texas game would be a great matchup, man. And I think it's really the 2 best teams, I believe, in the country, talent-wise. Even though Georgia got a lot of talent, Carson Beck has regressed. And I think this game would be the best game that the college football playoff committee could hope for, is Ohio
Yeah.
State versus number 6 Texas versus number 5 Ohio State. And we don't have to pick a winner in this one, but what do you think will happen in that game?
You know what make that such an interesting matchup, though, is that they got to turn right back around next year and run it back.
Yeah. Yeah.
It brings so much more.
Last game of the season. First game of the season. That's
facts, bro. You
Crazy.
got to run it back.
That's like, I think this would be one of them games to where you, like, I wasn't even going to pick. I was just going to talk about it. This one of them games where you just sitting, you got your popcorn, you got your pizza, you got everything you need, or it's on the way to where you don't have to move. You locked in. They may even put on a halftime show for the bands for this one. That's the type of game you would get. I mean, you're talking each level: defensive line, linebackers, secondary, offensive line, you know, quarterback, running backs. You talking about wide receivers as well. Every aspect of the ball on both sides. You just want to watch it. You just want to kick your feet up, and you know you're gonna have a great game. And that's what we want in college football. I think that's definitely what we would get in this game, a classic, just like they put on in 2005, man. I remember watching that game downtown with my buddy at work, Eric Evans, a Buckeye fan, something I'll never forget, man. We watched that game to the end. And I was like, bro, best game I seen, man, this year, man. Flat out, hands down. I ain't see a better game than that. So I think that's what we looking at when we talk about this Texas-Ohio State matchup. Hopefully this is what it is in this national championship as well this year.
I think this game will definitely come down to who has the best gadget plays, man, that actually work. Because I think that's what it's going to take in this game. Both teams will probably have 3 to 5 gadget plays that they run, man. And just to throw the defense off, man. And whoever comes up with the best one to get executed, I think will be the difference in this game because it's really almost an even matchup, man. Offense against defense, defense against offense. It will be a great game to watch. I would watch that game by myself because I wouldn't want nobody else around me because I'm going to be cussing, screaming, yelling, the whole 9 yards. But I think it will be an unbelievable game and will set the tone for what is to come the following season.
Yeah, I don't think none of us could pick a winner in this game for real, dog. It's just that type of matchup of a prize fight. You know, you go in and you look at the prize fight, you be like, man, these dudes are so evenly matched.
Yeah.
You don't know who gonna win, and you just want to see a great game. That's it. Me, hey, see, sports dude, the way we throw big games, we throw parties for big games like this. You know what I mean? It's a lot of liquor around. You feel me? Hey, somebody hosting, so we got some chicken, some wings, some pizza, everything. You know what I mean? With
Yeah.
some wings, some pizza, everything, fish. Yeah. So it'll be a live situation. It's like it's like a whole event. You know what I mean? So I definitely probably be watching it with a lot of family. So and it'd be rowdy. So yeah, I
Oh
don't know,
yeah.
man. I just this matchup. I hope it happened because it get me excited for real. Like it's just like let's go. You know what I mean? You want to put on a helmet and shoulder pads and run out too. You know what I mean? So that is one of them type of matchups. Like
Oh yeah, for sure.
so, yeah. I'm into picking though, man. I like both defenses. I like both offenses. I will say this though. I like Texas quarterback more than I like my own. And could that be the difference in the game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, the thing, I'm glad you said that too. And the thing is, Texas has played Will Howard at least 3 or 4 times already in their career because he played quarterback at Kansas State. So they know what his strengths and weaknesses are. And that
Yeah.
might be the only advantage that Texas have is at the quarterback position. The only advantage.
Hey, but he was beating y'all.
Nah, we owned him.
He beat
We owned him.
didn't he beat y'all in the
No,
Big
he
12
never.
championship?
No, they played. They beat TCU. We owned them. We beat them
He ain't
maybe the
beat y'all not
last
once.
6 or 7 times. Not one time.
Oh man,
Not one
that don't
time.
bode well, man. Come on, man. Stop putting
Yeah,
them
not one
facts out
time.
here in the world, man.
Yeah, not one time. Now he had his chances to beat us, but he never beat us. Not one time. We beat Kansas State. I think the last 5 or 6 times that we played, which wasn't the case previously. They in Manhattan, we could never beat them in Manhattan, but the
Yeah.
last couple times we have. You know what?
And
Maybe when they had when him and what's the name was switching off, they might have won that game. Him and the dude from Oklahoma State that transferred over there. They was rotating. They might have beat Texas that year. You might be right.
I
Yeah.
swear I thought he beat y'all once. I thought it was in the Big 12 championship too, though. I don't know though. We
No, because
gotta look up.
we wasn't making it. We wasn't making it till last year was the first time we made it in a long time. And
Yeah.
when we played Oklahoma when they had Kyler Murray, yeah, we wasn't making those trips.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me see. I had another question, man. I forgot what it was. Let me ask y'all this though, man, because we looking at the landscape of college football coming to an end for this 24-25 season. There are teams out there, man, who are going to lose their quarterbacks and may not have a comparable quarterback backing that guy up. Are there a lot of quarterbacks out there at smaller schools that these higher level schools might want to get? Is there enough out there? Because we all know quarterback play is the key, man.
I was going. I was looking at a few weeks ago the HBC schools and some of these other schools that's like D2, D3. I think they need to tap into those lines and see some of those quarterbacks over there because I think if you get some of those quarterbacks with the right, offensive line and things like that fitting in the right system, I think it benefits both the coach, player, staff, the whole nine. Because I think about, I think it was Joe Flacco that came out of Delaware State, and I watched him, and I was like, wow, like if this kid could have played out of Michigan, he probably would have put up major numbers, with knowing the type of offensive line he would have had at Michigan in those years and, just things like that. So I say, yeah, definitely tap in and look because there's definitely some talent out there at that quarterback position. And we see with the kid that left from UNLV, definitely a pure talent. And the one that came in and backed him up, he came from Campbell, transferred from Campbell after 4 years, a graduate transfer. So I think they need to check those type of players out for sure.
I think um, I got one guy on my mind, and I think, sir, it's the quarterback from Tulane. I think when you play at smaller schools, your team can be doing well, but I think some of these guys want to prove that they can do it against tougher competition. So really, I don't think no one will be safe in a small school, especially at the better teams. Because when you look at, oh, how can I position myself to be drafted in the NFL? These scouts want to see if you can do it against SEC competition, Big Ten competition, week in and week out. So I think it all comes down to what type of character a person got. Um, if they feel like they a dog or not. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
there's guys out there uh, that that if a school need a quarterback, they might say, "Hey, what's up, man? You want to come play in the Big Ten? I know we only Iowa, but you at least gonna play Ohio State, Michigan, Oregon. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna play these teams, and you're gonna have more eyes on you each
Yeah.
week. So I don't think nobody really is safe for real. But the Tulane quarterback came to my mind because he a baller.
Yeah, because I mean, like you mentioned, the Tulane quarterback. Think about Mad Max at Boise State. Think about the quarterback at UNLV.
Yeah,
Them
Yeah.
guys can play, man. I mean, they can.
Ball.
They remind me of Pavia for Vanderbilt.
and
If you can
you
get you a
know,
quarterback,
go ahead.
go ahead, Zay.
Vandy
If you
got
can get you a quarterback like that, go ahead.
Vandy got Nate Johnson. I thought he was gonna come over and win that starting quarterback job. I think he could possibly hop in the portal because he was holding down Utah last year when bro went down. If they would have had him this year, they probably would still be in the college football running. And he one of the
Oh, you know
fastest
what? I
quarterbacks
didn't know
in
that.
college football, period. That dude is electric for real. Hopefully he's still been working on his arm and stuff, but I mean he's a little raw still as a passer, but he held Utah down when Rising went down last year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, I thought he was still there. I didn't know that he had went to Vanderbilt, and because he came in for one play against Texas and he threw a dime to get them a first down on like a 3rd and 6. He threw a dime, and they
Yeah,
ended up
that
getting the
hey,
first down. But then Parker came in to write the next play.
if
Wow, I
he
didn't know
stay,
that.
man, if he stay at Vandy, they in good hands, bro. They look like they up in their program for real.
They got a lot invested in Pavi too. That quarterback.
Ain't he a senior
I
though?
think he might be done now. I think he might be done. I think this is last year of eligibility, though.
Think
I
so.
think because he was at what was he at New Mexico State or someplace like
Yeah,
that.
because they did bring him in that transfer portal.
Yeah. So wow. And I'm just hoping that some of these guys get an opportunity to go and play at the Power Four level, man. Because I think, because whenever you see them play against Power Four teams, they actually do really well. They
Yeah,
actually
Yeah.
do really well in those games, man. And I think
Mhm.
they can make that jump from Group of Five to Power Four. So hopefully those guys will get an opportunity. But that's all the questions I have for the day. We've been rolling for almost an hour and 45 minutes.
oh man,
Some
going
great
crazy.
content, man. I appreciate y'all making it.
Oh,
Do y'all
no
got
problem.
anything else y'all want to add before we close out?
Well, just make sure you tune in, you like, subscribe to the channel, WTP Sports Dudes, Level Up Sports 10, City League TV. We're going to have FanDuel Zen, Master Zaya coming, and Parlay Post 3 for y'all. So, man, just make sure y'all keep tuned in. We do this because of y'all. We love what we do, and we're going to keep doing it. That's one thing for sure.
Well said, Moss. Man, you a smooth criminal.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, man. Well, if we have nothing else, man, like he said, continue to subscribe, hit the like button, tune in every time we go live. We appreciate your support. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.